Hello everyone, welcome back to C Programming. I am Professor Amit Jadhav and today we are going to learn about the data types in C. Before that, we quick revise the last lecture. So in last lecture we had seen difference between C programming and Python that we have discussed. Then we learn what is variable, how to define a variable, how to initialize a value to the variable. Then we have seen some rules to define a variable. What are the valid variables and invalid variables? So there are some rules for it. After that, we discuss constants in C. So these are the some list of constants: decimal, real, octal, then hexadecimal, character and string constants, and the different ways to define a constant. First, using constant keyword and hash defined preprocessor. We have seen some examples of it. Yes, then next point is data types in C. So let's discuss the data types. There are basically four types of data types that we use in C programming. First one is the basic data type, second derived data type, third one is enumerated data type, and last one is the void data type. So basic data type that we generally use in a program. In last few lectures, we have seen the different data types that we use for the variable. As the variable syntax is data type and the variable name. So we define this data type, basic data type, that is the integer, character, float, and double. So these are known as basic data types. So next one is the derived data type. In derived data type, the examples are array, pointer, structure, and union. So these are the derived because it derived from the basic data type like integer, character, float, and double. So this is the extended version of basic data type, okay, and known it as a derived data type. Next one is the enumeration. Enumeration is the collection of different data type and it is known with name enum. And last one is very useful that we use for the main function, and that is the void. Void is a null data type. It never returns a value. Okay, so these are the some data types in C. So the first type, and that's most important, is basic data type. The basic data types are integer, float, double, and character. Okay, so they may be signed as well as unsigned literals. The memory size of the basic data types may change according to 32 or 64-bit operating system. So the memory size is different as whatever the type of operating system you use. For example, if you are using Microsoft Windows 32-bit, then its size range is different. And if you are using 64-bit, then the size of data type is different. So this table is according to 32-bit architecture. So the first one is the characters memory size. It requires 1 byte memory size. So before starting the byte and bit, let's understand its data measurement. So here it's a data measurement chart. In that, first one is the bit. Bit required single digit, either it's 0 or 1. Then next one is the byte. 8 bits make a 1 byte. Then KB, that is kilobyte. 1024 bytes make 1 KB. Then megabyte. 1024 kilobytes make 1 megabyte. Then gigabyte. 1024 megabyte make 1 gigabyte. Then terabyte. 1024 gigabyte make 1 terabyte. Then petabyte. 1024 terabyte make 1 petabyte. And last one is the exabyte. 1024 petabyte create 1 exabyte. So up to TB we know in our laptop we use 500 TB or 1 TB or 200 TB hard disk space. Okay, after that peta will introduce. So characteristic 1 byte, that means 8 bit can be stored here, and its range is minus 128 to 127. There are two types. One is signed and unsigned. So signed, it will take 1 byte memory size, and its range is minus 128 to 127. And for unsigned, its range is 0 to 255. So next one is the short maybe short memory size 2 byte and range is minus 32,768 to 32,767. And there are two types of short data types. One is the signed short and second one is unsigned short. Both require memory size 2 bytes. Unsigned short's range is 0 to 65,535. Next one is integer. It also required the memory size 2 byte, but its range is starting from minus 32,768 to 32,767. Again, it's a signed or unsigned integer. Signed integer range is same. It takes 2 bytes, and for unsigned, the range is 0 to 65,535. Then short integer, signed short integer and unsigned short integer. It takes 2 byte and its range is for sign its range is minus 32,768 to 32,767, and for unsigned short integer its range is 0 to 65,535. Then we take long integer. In that we have signed long integer and unsigned long integer. It's occupy the space 4 bytes respectively, and its range is very long, that is minus 2147 483648 to 2147 483647 is same for signed integer. And for unsigned long integer it's a 0 to 4294 967 295. And for float it takes the memory space 4 byte. For double it's 8 byte, and for long it's a 10 byte space required. So our next point is keywords. Keywords are very useful in C programming. These are some reserved words that every reserved word have specific meaning. So the list of 32 keywords in C language are auto, break, case, character, constant, continue, default, do, double, else, enum, extern, float, for, go to, if, integer, long, register, return, short, sign, size of, static, struct, then switch, type, ef, union, unsigned, void, volatile, and while. These are fixed 32 keywords that use in a C programming language. So we can't change, as a C is case sensitive. There is difference between break. Here we'll write all the letters in small case. If I use here capital B, then it has a different meaning. So keywords we have to use as it is. Its syntax is fixed. We cannot modify the keywords. We cannot write the variable name as a keywords. So we have seen that rule in a variable chapter. So these are the 30. Everyone have some specific meaning. So const is used for constant, continue is used to continue in loop, default is its default value is double is the integer data type, else is used to return the else part. So every keyword has some specific meaning. So next one is C identifiers. So this is about all about keywords. Then let's see identifiers. Identifier is nothing but the program name. So program name or variable names. C identifier represent the name of C program. For example, variables, function, arrays, structure, unions, labels, etc. So everything in C program that must be identified by its name. So this is nothing but the identifiers. An identifier can be composed of letters such as uppercase, lowercase, letters, underscore, digits, but the starting letter should be either an alphabet or underscore. So whenever we define the identifier by, for example, a program, if we write the program name, so that should be uppercase alphabets, lowercase alphabets, it's allowed, underscore allowed, but it cannot start with the digit. It can be start with only alphabet or underscore. If the identifier is not use an external linkage, then it's called as the internal identifier, and if it is start with the internal, then it is known as the internal linkage. We can say that the identifier is a collection of alphanumeric characters that begins either with alphabets or an underscore, which are used to represent the various programming elements such as variables, functions, arrays, then structure, unions. So everything we can define using the identifier. There are 52 alphabet characters, 26 lowercase and 26 uppercase that we can use in a identifier. Also we can use special character underscore and 10 numerical digits from 0 to 9 that represent the identifiers. There is total 63 alphanumeric characters that represent the identifier. 52 alphabet characters, then 10 digits, here 62, and one special character, that is underscore, it allows. So here is the rules for constructing C identifier. First, the first character of an identifier should be either an alphabet or underscore, and then it can be followed by any of characters, digit or underscore. So the first word should be alphabet. It may be the lower in lowercase or uppercase, or an underscore is also allowed. So we can write the program name as ABC or A1 or whatever we can use it, that start with alphabets or underscore. It should not begin with any numerical digit. One, if program name is 1A, then it's not allowed. In identifiers, both uppercase and lower case letters are distinct. Therefore, we can say the identifier are case sensitive. As the C programming is a case sensitive. So let's see how it is. Just wait. So let's see. Here we find the difference. So if I want to write hash include, or just I write here void main. So void is a data type. Suppose I write here V capital, then it makes a difference, and its color is green only. And as it is a keyword, if I write as it is void, then that means in all the letters in small cases, it consider it as a keyword. And if I make one change, if I change its first character in uppercase, then it's not allowed. Okay, so it gives an error. It differentiate between capital and small one. So this is, as the C programming is a case sensitive. Okay, next one, commas or blank space cannot be allowed to define, cannot be allowed, cannot be specified within an identifier. So it does not take any special character. Blank space is also considered as a character. Comma is special character. So it does not allow, only underscore it allows. So comma or blank space cannot be allowed. keywords cannot be represented as the identifier, so we cannot give the program name as a void, if, while. So the 32 keywords we can't use as the program name, variable name, array name. Okay. The length of identifier should not more than 31 characters. So the program title or program name is up to 31 character. We cannot use more than characters for an identifier. Variable name almost 31 character. Identifier should be written in such way that it's a meaningful, short and easy to read. So for example, if I want to define a variable for addition, I use add variable. If I want to use it for subtraction, I use sub variable name. If I want to do the multiplication, I am using mul. So that must be relevant and it understand from its name itself. So these are some example of valid identifier: total, sum, average, minus m, minus sum, minus sum underscore, minus sum underscore 1. So these are the valid and these are the invalid. To sum, it start with 2, it's not allowed. Integer, it's a reserved word. Character is reserved word. And m plus n, as we use it as a variable name, it's not allowed because here we use the special operator plus, it's not allowed. The next point is scope of variable. There are two types of variable scope. First one is the local and global. So local variable, the scope of local variable is remain to that particular function. So this we discuss, function we discuss in later chapter. Just now here we define the variable and its value remain in that particular first function. And if we define outside the function, then we can call it as a global variable. If we define outside the function and its scope remain in whole program. So here if we write integer value is equal to 20, then it's uh, it's a global variable. And if we write here, then it's a local variable. So to understand the difference between local and global, local variables define in the particular function and the global variables define outside the function. Let's see a simple example I have already created here. So in this program, we define the here a global variable a. Global variable, that is the outside the function. So it's known as a global variable. And here we define the variable a inside the display function. So this is the function that we're going to discuss in a function chapter. Just consider here it's a block of program. So here we define the integer variable a, and it is called as a local variable. Its scope is remain in this block only. Okay. So after that I assign some value to it, a is equal to 25, and I print the value of local variable a is, and here we print the value. After that we write the main method and we change its value with 50. So here the value of a is 25 and it will print value is of a is 25. Now I change its value with 50 and again I print the value. So let's see the output. So here first we get the value of a is 25 and then we get the value is 50. So if you are not defining here, okay, it will gives an error because it's a global variable. Okay, so its scope we can use anywhere in a program. So suppose we change its name with b, and here we do the b equal to 50 and the global b is b. and here we get the output. The value of local A is 25 and the value of global B is 50. But here if we try to print the value of A again, but its scope is remain into this function only, so it will not print the value of A. Let's see, it shows an error. A is not defined because the scope of A is limited to the this function only. Okay, we can't use A outside this function, but if we define it outside the function, then its scope is global. We can use where we want in our program. Okay, so this is the global variable, and here we end up with today's lecture. In this lecture we have seen the different data types that we use in a C and the scope of variables, that is local and global. Hope that you understand all this concept. Still you have any doubt, then you can contact me on my WhatsApp number. Thank you for watching.